Live right now, guys. Welcome to Lab Coat Agents again for the third, fourth. I don't even know how many times, but thanks for joining us. And you just saw Dan there. He just stepped out, but thanks for putting that together, Dan. Appreciate you. So today we're going to have we ever had both of you on, Casey and Sean?
Maybe not together, but I've been,
Yeah, I think this may be the first time we're having both of you together. Which is pretty cool. On the same screen, too. And for those of you who don't know Casey or Sean, they're out of the Ventura County, Santa Barbara area. And not only are they great real estate agents in that area, they've also created an amazing product for LinkedIn, which we're going to get into. But first, I'd like to really talk about LinkedIn and how you guys are using it and what you think real estate agents should really be looking at when they look at LinkedIn.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, LinkedIn, first of all, for Tristan and Dan, thanks so much for setting this up. We're always stoked to come on LCA and talk to you guys about some of the things that we're up to and just some different growth hacks. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Sean and I joined Sean's practice about 3 years ago. And I was really trying to figure out newer ways to generate business apart from the standard door knocking and cold calling. And so I was looking into, obviously social media, Facebook ads, print ads, all that stuff. But about a year and a half ago, I stumbled upon LinkedIn. And one way that I like to think about, innovation is when everyone's looking towards one direction, I like to look in the opposite, right? So what are people not looking at? And a year and a half ago, and even still to this day, there's not many people leveraging LinkedIn the way they should.
I agree.
It is such an untapped gold mine of business. For the most part, people typically use LinkedIn to post listings on their dashboard or potentially solicit job applications for something that they're hiring for. They put on a profile and they hope people reach out to them. But like anything else, if you don't use it, it's not going to do you any good. And so what we've learned how to do is how to leverage LinkedIn to help build a business and generate leads, enhance your branding, all that stuff. But first I want to talk to you more about how to best leverage LinkedIn. Because if you aren't using it correctly, it's not going to do anything for you. So, I mean, if you just put in a profile photo and then maybe your current position and maybe where you graduated from, that's great. And you have like maybe 50 connections. That's not going to get you anything. People are going to look at your profile, say, oh, this person's a nobody. They're not super active. And I probably have nothing in common with them. So why should I connect with them, or why should I even deal with them? Why should I use them as a realtor?
True. I mean, when people are using LinkedIn, what's the demographic of those that are using it, right? That's something. It's different than Facebook. It's different than Instagram. What are you guys finding?
Well, I mean, like it's who are the people using it and what are they using it for, right? So the people that are using it are, CEOs, founders, partners, directors, senior level executives.
Is that why it's so boring when I go to LinkedIn? There's nobody dancing or breaking things.
I know. It's getting better though. It's getting better. I've noticed that the feeds are getting more engaged.
I think cat videos are officially blocked from
You're probably right, dude. You're probably
I haven't seen one Baby Yoda on there yet. But
that's a shame though.
But people go there for information, right? And so, if you're going there to learn about, the best tips and tricks on how to list your property or what are the newest trends in innovation and AI, virtual reality, they're there to learn about the future. And the people who are kind of creating the future are on there posting valuable content. So it's a social media site, but really it's a professional media site.
Okay.
So they're promoting more content. So yes, so one great thing is you're going to be networking with people who are professional on LinkedIn, but also because of that, like they're going to be promoting more content and that's relevant to you. So like you go on there for multiple reasons.
And it's a lot like a digital business card. People go on there, they look at you, they see what your accolades are. It's just like having your own personal website. It's like people use that as a digital business card more or less.
I think that was the very first thing that I learned from Casey when he said, hey, look, if you kind of put all of your information into the LinkedIn section as much as you can in your bio and everything, what happens is Google actually crawls through it and it'll boost you up. One of the first things you'll have up on Google when you search your name is that LinkedIn profile. And sometimes, most of the time, it'll be above Facebook's, which was super cool. I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
Well, you want to know why? And I just learned this recently, is LinkedIn actually leases Google's old search algorithm. And so,
dude, I just did my search, and then you can tell me. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I just got excited right now. I typed in my name. So for those of you listening, type in your name. The first thing that popped up for me was my Google business page, right? Then damn Zillow, they're there. And then my WordPress site, and then my real estate site, and then videos from YouTube. And then the very first one that gives anybody information about who I am, like a wiki page, is LinkedIn.
Yep.
And then Facebook is right underneath that. And that's awesome.
Yeah. And so that's if you're Googling Tristan, right?
Yeah.
So, but what if you're just Googling like top realtor in Ventura, top realtor in Santa Barbara? So
let me check.
What's interesting about that is, again, they use similar algorithms as Google. And so you want to be using keywords like in your profile and in your description and pretty much anywhere where you can put in words that are very niche and very specific. So, so if you look at my title, it's top producing realtor in Santa Barbara and Ventura County. So if you can do that, and then in your title, you say owner, partner of real estate group in Ventura County. So you want to be able to kind of put as much specific information into your profile. So when people Google search a generic thing that they're looking for a realtor, you're going to pop up first. So that's huge.
That's really awesome, dude. I love it.
And then likewise, I mean, so when you are doing this, and so like, let's say you are the first one that pops up when they search for top realtor in Westlake or Malibu, you want to make sure that when they visit your site, that you actually seem like a top realtor, right?
A good photo that's current, full profile filled out.
Well, do you have any examples that we can take a look at?
Yeah, pull up mine.
Yeah, let's do that.
That way people can see how awesome you guys are.
Sure. So I mean, where are we? A profile is just a profile, but again, you want to be filling out every single asset that the profile allows you to.
Okay.
So, you want to make sure to have a banner photo behind your profile photo. You want to be descriptive with your title. So rather than saying realtor, you want to say co-founder of the O'Toole Group, #1 top sales agent, Ventura County, all these dates, right? You want to kind of
Got it. So a little bit more creative with your description.
Yeah. Plus, this is what shows up when you're sending out invite connections or connection invites. This is what shows up. So it'll say Sean O'Toole. And so think of it as like a preview to an email. So they'll see this aspect or this line of verbiage before they choose to connect with you or not. So you want to make this relevant to them.
The very top, right underneath the name, that's what will show up.
Correct. So if Sean invited you to be in his network, which you already are, but it would say Sean O'Toole, co-founder of the O'Toole Group. So that way, if they're choosing to connect with you or not, they'll be seeing that. All
right. I love that.
You want to have lots of connections. That's pretty important because when you post things, LinkedIn, they have a much more generous algorithm in terms of how many organic exposure they allow people to see your post, right? So if you post something on Facebook, for example, on your business page, you might get a couple hundred views. But with LinkedIn, you post something, you have like say 10,000 connections, posting them on LinkedIn, you'll be getting 2,000 or 3,000 views depending on the type of post it is.
So I've got about 10,500 connections. And if you notice, Case, and recently I've had 1,823 people view my profile.
That's crazy.
It's just bandwidth. How many people?
Where can we check? I see the followers, 10,497 underneath articles. But where can we check what you normally post? How do we see that and what the engagement looks like?
Okay, so go.
So I'll go to mine. So because sometimes LinkedIn doesn't show the total engagement.
Oh, look who it is there on that.
Oh, I remember that. That was at Future in December.
That was a Future.
Yeah, so you can go to your activity.
Oh, Casey, you're kicking your brother's ass on followers.
I know.
I'm just joking, guys.
He's Mr. Automation.
Oh.
I may be younger, but
we should arm wrestle though, right, Casey?
Oh, yeah, arm wrestle. Next, now.
I mean, so this is one, got 700 views. This one had like, I think over 3,000. Sometimes LinkedIn shows it and sometimes they don't, but 23 likes, 2 comments, video, having rich, high content always helps out too.
Okay.
But this is all super important because when people are trying to investigate who you are and what you do, they want to make sure that they are talking to and connecting with a real top realtor, right?
Very true.
So, I mean, the fact that I'm in a picture with Tristan, they all know that I must be important, right?
I don't know. I have to find out later. After you arm wrestle.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so this is all great. So this is like level 1. In order to start working with LinkedIn, you want to have a really good, robust profile. You want to be posting rich content. You want to be engaging with people on a regular basis. That's level 1. Level 2 is, which I was going to get into later, is like leveraging our system more or less and figuring out newer ways to do lead generation. So rather than getting invites from people who you don't really want to connect with, so like they're sending you invites, you're actually the one going out there and finding people who you want to connect with, and you're prospecting directly to them.
Oh, okay. I like that. Nice. So what are some suggestions for us to grow our followers? Because I think one of you told me that the maximum of followers you can have on LinkedIn is 30,000, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. And so how do we go about doing that so that we can get more views and be more impactful and have more influence?
Well, first of all, go to listingboom.co. No, I'm just kidding.
Listing. Well, I do want to actually see what you guys did too. So
yeah. I mean, so you can do it the hard way or you can do it the easy way, right? So I mean, the hard way is manually going through, finding people that you want to connect with, and connect, right? And just build your audience that way. But that takes a lot of time, and time is a valuable resource. And so we help alleviate that time. Right, so that is the hard way. The easy way is by using a service like ours, and we could go out there and find people that you're looking to network with, the high net worth individuals, the affluent individuals, and connect with them automatically. And on top of connecting with them automatically, we can then send them a value prop message depending on what you're trying to promote.
Got it.
And we've been doing this for years now. And what's kind of cool about what we're up to is like we are constantly A/B testing newer scripts, newer campaigns, newer ways to leverage our system. And yeah, the one that's been kind of blowing things out of the water is listing promotions, listing marketing. But yeah, so that's.
Do you have any example of those?
Yeah, so I mean we just stumbled upon this not too long ago because we initially thought that the number one value of our system was strictly going for the lead, right? So we would be sending out messages to affluent people in Ventura, Santa Barbara saying, hey, you looking to buy or sell a house? Let's talk. That works, right? But it comes across as a little bit more salesy.
Yeah.
And you don't, which is not a bad thing because, if you're offering value coming from contribution, it's always good. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting about this approach is rather than coming across as a salesy person, what you're doing is you're just kind of marketing listings. You're positioning yourself as a top listing agent, and people will then by default let you know if they're looking to buy or sell, right?
Got it.
So we just did one recently about, we have a beach listing in Ventura. And so So for example, we created a script saying, hey, thanks so much for connecting. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm a local realtor in Ventura and wanted to let you know about a great beach listing of mine. That's of great value in case you're looking to make a move. Check it out. So if you include your hyperlink.
Okay.
You also say, I also have other listings available, both on and off the market that may work for you too. Let's set up a time to chat and grab coffee. So it's a similar script, but you're coming from, hey, check out this listing. And from there, people respond. Hey, Sean, I actually met you a while ago. Would love to see what duplexes or triplexes you have available. So you get these organic responses.
Oh, I love that, man. All right. So how do I go about, well, two questions. One is, you guys have worked on my LinkedIn and you've helped me automate the recruiting part of this, but most agents are looking to create opportunities for themselves to either create more followers, like you have 13,000, or to be able to get more business out of this, direct business. So opportunities with people that are interested in purchasing a home or selling a home. Do you have any examples of those ads that have been working, or those communications, that back and forth, the automation?
Yeah, so here's one right here. Wait, go back to that case.
Well, that's still the whole listing, but yeah.
Yeah, so this is what's creating the engagement. We basically say, hey, here's some of the listings, you check it out. And this is a search for executives within a 25-mile radius. And it says, hey, I'm looking to purchase in the next 6 to 12 months. So that's a direct, someone's actually responding saying, hey, let's talk.
What was the message that you used to reach out? Can I see that? So it says, thanks for connecting, Seth. I'm reaching out to executives in the area because I have a few great listings at the beach. I have any interest. Oh, okay, cool. It was very direct.
Yeah.
And the guy responded? That's crazy.
In the next 6 to 12 months, I'm sending him properties. They're on he's on the auto feed now, and we're in conversation.
So here's where I want to get into a little bit more details of what you guys do, because how do I know that the messages that I'm sending out to these people are the right people that I'm looking for?
So we can customize it. So, I mean, it depends on who you're looking for, but.
So let's say I'm looking for CEOs and executives in the area so that I can target them with amazing homes. Or maybe I just want to target a specific business, like we have the Rams organization out here, right? Or Amgen. Amgen's the largest pharmaceutical in the world. It's in Newbury Park. Things like that. How do we do that? Where did you go so you don't lose people here?
So right now we're on Sales Navigator, which is a LinkedIn premium account.
Okay.
We require all of our clients to have it. It's extremely important because A, it increases the threshold of activity that you're allowed to have on LinkedIn. And B, it allows us to do much more targeted searches for your exact ideal customer profile, right? And so if you're looking for people who work at the Rams organization or people who work at Amgen, I mean, here's one that we did for Sean when we were trying to find like luxury or find buyers out of LA who would buy luxury listings in Ventura.
Okay.
So we did people who live in the metropolitan area of LA.
Okay.
Who aren't realtors for obvious reasons, who have a lot of experience and a lot of experience in their current position, who are the highest level of senior. So CEO, CFO, founder, partner, director.
What were the other two? Got it. Partner, director. Can I see a little bit going down? So there's VIP. We can choose any of those, and that's the number of those people that are there?
Correct. Yep. So VP, director, manager, senior.
I definitely like CXOs, owners, and partners only. Got it.
Yeah. So what's nice about that, because if you did owner alone, and if you allowed it to be any number of company headcount, I mean, there's a lot of solopreneurs that are owners but don't have the money to obviously buy a luxury listing, right? Yeah. But another great filter is if you do owner and partner, and then you also filter based on company headcount. So now you're talking to owners and partners of companies that have more than 5,000 employees. Wow. So yeah, so this is like, if you're looking for trying to sell luxury listings to out-of-town buyers, this is probably one of the most effective searches. So then, so now you're going to be reaching out to, let's see here, senior business and tech architect of Southern California Edison, founder of Microsoft, global account tech strategist, Microsoft, CEO. So, you know, you're going to be sending messages to all of these folks. And then it's just, at that point, it's just a numbers game and a timing game before one of them goes, wow, you know, I am looking to make a move. But what's also kind of nice too is, in addition to sending out these direct messages and getting responses from them, everyone that you're a first connection with, so everyone who just simply accepts your connection, but maybe doesn't respond to you, because they're in your network as a first connection, we can send you a download of your database of all your first connections from LinkedIn. And then you can put them into retargeting campaigns on Facebook. You can put them on email drip campaigns, listing alerts, market snapshots, invite them to your events. So, I mean, I think one of the most powerful aspects of our tool, in addition to this direct messaging and branding, is the massive increase in your contact database that you'll be getting. I mean, I had about 500 connections when I started to develop this software about a year and a half ago. And now I have over 13,000 people. So if I really wanted to get back into real estate or just kind of leverage my database, I mean, look at it, there's just emails upon emails upon emails.
That's a lot. I mean, what are you going to do with that, or what have you been doing with that information?
So yes, I mean, so one really good thing that I've been doing recently is, so our system also integrates with Zapier. So one campaign that I'm working on now, which now I'm using my LinkedIn profile to recruit people onto our tech business. But a good campaign that I was working on for a while was, I was trying to find people who live in the Santa Barbara area. The moment that they connected, I would zap them into my cold email software and put them on an email drip campaign. So I would delay it by 7 days, and then I would on the cold email, it would say, hey, first name, I know we're connected on LinkedIn, but I wanted to reach out to you on a more professional channel and provide you with some more resources. You know, then I always say, just to be clear, you know, if you're not interested in real estate resources, feel free to unsubscribe below. But if you are, check out the following links. And the first link is a home valuation link. Second link is to subscribe to a market snapshot. Third link is like more about us. And so that way, these folks are seeing you on LinkedIn, they're seeing you on email, they're seeing you on Facebook, and it just really enhances your brand.
I love that. So we had a question here. I'm going to go back and forth between things. So if I'm interrupting you too much, just shut me down.
No, it's good.
The question that I had was, does this really work for recruiting real estate agents?
I don't know. Tristan, does it?
It does, man. It does a lot. It does. But there are two things that I've discovered over using this for, how long have I been? Is this a year and a half? Almost 2 years, right? With you guys?
Almost 2 years.
All right. So there's two things to it. Number one is I do have an advantage over other people in the area because people do know me here. Number one, right? So it's a little bit easier. Number two is the message that I'm delivering isn't spammy. A lot of the messages that I'm seeing out there are from organizations, you know, real estate organizations that are just trying to sell themselves and saying, hey, have you heard of us? We do this, right? And that's the really bad way of doing it. So you just have to know that when you do this and you're going to be on the recruiting side, come across as more unassuming and really coming from a point of, hey, I want to help you and this is what we've got to offer, but I'm not sure if this is for you. And if it's not for you, do you know of someone that may be interested?
Yeah, we've had, quite a few people use our system for recruiting, and everyone's kind of got their own flavor. Some people say, hey, we offer X amount of leads per month, blah, blah, blah. Some people just say, hey, I'm a top producing agent. I want to teach you my system. So they offer like a free coaching call.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah. So everyone's got their own style in reaching out for recruiting. It's just a matter of coming up with that style, and we can assist with that for sure.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, it totally depends on the agent themselves, and everyone has their own niche. I mean, one of our clients, Robert Slack, for example, he is such a renowned realtor and such a great reputation that his script is more along the lines of like, you need to apply, right? Like, I want you to apply and send me why I want to have you as a realtor on my team. Another person goes, if you want to work for me, I'm looking for agents that have had at least 10 million in sales in the past 12 months. So you can also have them self-select, because it does cost money and take time to bring on agents. So if you're just wanting anyone who comes through the door, bring them onto your team, be careful. But yeah, I mean, offering leads, offering systems, offering coaching, all of those scripts, as long as you're coming from contribution, it works really well. But I think you made a good point. You don't want to come across as like, you might be desperate for leads, and because you are, you might want to join my team. Like, that's not a very good approach. It's like, I'm not sure if this is for you or not, but kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you can try whatever you want. I'm just telling you what's worked, right? Yeah. For those listening. Now let's dive into the product that you guys have to offer so that people can see how it makes this a lot easier. It really automates the process, so I don't have to do a lot of this. That's what I love about it.
Well, in developing this product, it kind of came about organically. My brother and I were at a listing presentation for a $7 million listing in Santa Barbara. And off the cuff, we go, well, one thing we got to tell you about is we've got a system where we can reach out to a audience of executives, CEOs, and owners of companies in a 25-mile radius of any location in the country. So for your home, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, reaching out to people in LA is going to be a great fit because of the specific profile home. So we were actually able to target audiences for them, and they were really, really impressed. And that's just the reality of it. We have access through LinkedIn to target audiences. So then we started to really digest that and go, all right, well, that's great. How do you typically market property? Let's say you put an ad in Homes and Land. How much value do you really get from an ad in Homes and Land? I mean, yeah, the exposure is great. People see your name, and you got to pay a full page ad, half page ad, whatever you got. $1,000 later, you get a call, and it's the neighbor asking when the open house is. I've had some value in Homes and Land, but not a whole lot. But just an example of how typically agents will market properties. This way, when we market a property through ListingBoom, we're actually sending it out to thousands of people, target audiences. If it's a luxury listing, we're reaching out to executives, et cetera. If it's a listing, let's say near a base, we're reaching out to veterans and people that have military experience, saying, hey, there's a new listing by this base. Here's a link. If you have any interest or know anyone, let us know. You can actually target audiences depending on the listing and send out messaging to them. And the benefit of the service is A, we're increasing your sphere on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. B, we're engaging you in conversations that develop leads. And C, we're then collecting the information of people who we connect you with and provide that to you. So for $270 per month or $270 per campaign, that's a huge value compared to any other service marketing listing that I can that I know of offhand. In addition to the value, being able to walk into a listing presentation and go, hey, the seller goes, how are you going to market my property? That's the number one thing. I think my buyer is going to come, at least in our area, I think my buyer is going to come from LA, or I think our buyer is going to come from Santa Barbara. It's like, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I've got the ability to target executives in those areas, send them your listing directly. Like, that's no one else that I know can do that.
That's true.
So it's really important when it comes to presenting to be able to have that, that feather in your cap to be able to say that, because everyone talks about target marketing and what is that? And Facebook does it, right? You have the ability on Facebook, but LinkedIn, I think, is a very direct outlet for it.
All right, cool. Now, obviously on what you guys create, that whole automated process, that's what I was seeing on the messenger side of LinkedIn, right? Mm-hmm. So can we go back to that section of LinkedIn? So here, this automated message that goes out is that top portion of it for Sean, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
All right. So when that goes out, that only goes out after the initial message to be able to connect goes out. That's not what we're not seeing there, right?
Correct. Yeah. So
can you explain that process?
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So the way that our system works is we're only really allowed to send direct messages to people who are in our first connection network, right? And we can send tons of messages to people who are already in your first connection network. In fact, if you have like a network of 5,000 people or so, and you want to just kind of blast your current network with your listings, we can do that for you. And 100 people a day are going to be seeing that listing, right? That are within your current network.
So 100% inbox rate for current connections.
But
That's the best.
But what's interesting is and I don't usually recommend that unless you already have a large expansive network, because once they're in your network, you could also just send them emails, right? But
True.
What we do is we find these folks, whatever audience you're looking for, and we send them connection requests. So they are usually second connections. And so we're sending out 100 a day, more or less. And then you get between 20 to 40 people connecting with you, which means after they connect with you, then about 4 hours later, we'll then send out a follow-up message, which is really your value prop message.
Got it. I love that. So is there any way to, once we've connected with them, which is what you're showing right there, is there any way to then go back and just message these people that weren't interested, or keep them into a database, put them into a database to continually drip them with something?
Yeah. So I mean, if they don't respond.
Yeah, if they don't respond, but we try to connect with them. Let's say they connected, like you said, hey, Jessica, congrats on your new position. Let's connect. They connected. Then Sean sends out that email that says, thanks for connecting, Jessica, but they don't respond. You see how they're not responding?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Is there well, Jessica responded, but pretend Jessica didn't respond. Then is there a way to just continually reach out to them, or maybe email them, or do a different thing so that we can connect with these people, because they are real people out there?
This is automated, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So basically, the first stage is we send out the connection, a personalized connection request. Because whenever you personalize it, you're going to dramatically increase the amount of people who are going to actually connect, because they're going, oh, this person took time to write a little something to me. We use their first name, and we send out the message. Second one goes out between, we can set it up to whatever schedule you want. I like 15 minutes later. So it's not just an automatic message, but 15 minutes later, it looks like you actually wrote it. Then if they don't respond, we have a third nudge, which is this one here. What do you think? You want to jump on a quick call? This is a day later. And she actually responds with the third nudge. So that was the nudge. And we can create a bunch of nudges. I think you have to be careful, though, as far as like doing it too much, because people are going to be turned off and they're going to, or not unsubscribe, but disconnect from you and mark you as spam or whatever. So I think the trick is to do just a couple, one, maybe two, and then hope that they engage. And if they don't engage after one or two, then you can put them into the sequences for a drip campaign, assuming you comply with the canned spam and all that. You got to work within those parameters. But you can put them on the email because there is the database.
Yeah. Yes. So this is obviously the cadence that we use for Sean, and she responded after his follow-up nudge, which was 2 days later. But let's say that she didn't respond. So the sequence that I was doing was I put a 7-day delay, right? So a 7-day delay, and then we're going to send her a follow-up email, right?
Got it. Well, I love that. And this is all happening on its own, right? We don't have to do anything.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so the way we like to kind of put it is we do everything for you. I mean, we have you answer a set of questions like, what geographic region do you want to target? What audience? What value prop do you want to offer? So we ask you a few questions. We then find your audience. We create a script. We put them into our system, and we hit go. So all you have to do is log into LinkedIn like once a day. I usually log in first thing in the morning and respond to people who message me from the previous day. And what's nice too is that LinkedIn recently, they made it really easy to manage all of your contacts. I mean, we used to have a portal where our clients could log in and like message people from within our portal, but it was kind of it was kind of glitchy. But LinkedIn recently added a new feature where you can now sort by unread messages.
Oh, dude, I didn't even know that. I'm going to go try that right now while you guys are doing this.
Yeah, sort by art, and then you can archive the good messages.
And then let's say this is moving walk. That's probably a good one.
This just happened today, like right now.
So then
This
it's
one?
like,
Yeah, check it out. Nothing. I'm moving to Washington in 6 months. So basically,
That's awesome.
I'm calling him, hey, you're moving. I got an agent up there. I got it's just, so you can archive it. And what's great about all this is all available on your phone. So your normal phone on LinkedIn, you can have your app, and all you have to do is use their message system, and you can archive them. You can go by unread. You can sort by all of that, and it makes it really easy. It's very seamless.
Dude, I love it. I'm using that feature right now.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to touch on as well is with our system, right when someone responds, all of our cadence stop, because previously we would have it where messages would continue to send, and so we could get the value prop out. But we found that comes with a lot of negative connotation. People would be like, hey, why'd you send this? I already told you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I already told you to stop, or I already told you that I wasn't interested, or whatever.
With automation, you got to be really careful and the perception you give people. No one wants to be botted, even though we are a bot. It's like we try to keep it as authentic as possible. We use automation, but once they respond, we stop our sequences just to prevent any negative, feedback from those prospects.
All right, dude. Well, I love it. I'm going to get to some questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. All right. So Patricia's asking, Patricia Villaverde says, is there an effective search for getting in touch with out-of-state agents for referral business? And I hadn't thought of that, but that's cool.
I was just going to mention that because, so luxury listings, if you have those, veterans, if you have like a listing near a base or something. But so we've had a couple clients recently who live in like vacation home areas, like vacation areas or destination locations. And I'm talking like, look, I'm not going to find a buyer in,
Aspen.
In Aspen, Colorado. Like everyone who buys homes are living in LA or living
Houston,
in
Chicago, New York. Yeah.
So what we're doing for them is we are reaching out to referral realtors in feeder cities
who've got more than 10 years experience, who like we narrow it to agents that are actually producing, who've got experienced agents. And we send, hey, I'm your go-to resource for referrals in this area if you have anyone. And if you ever come to Aspen, guess what? We're going to go out and I'm going to buy you a drink and we're going to chat. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to answer the question is, so that's a pretty effective campaign as well. You just got to let us know what are the feeder cities, and then we need the script, and then we'll get you going.
All right. Then the other question is, I know we showed how to target luxury, but do you guys have a way to target just the general population of people like in an area? What are your suggestions on getting business that way?
Yeah, so it kind of depends on what you're looking to do. So if you're looking for just general kind of promotion to general buyers, we had someone who had a listing that was like a mid-level listing, and they thought it would be a great first-time home buying for a millennial. And so rather than reaching out to people who have more than 10 years of experience, we changed that search filter to people who have 3 to 10 years of experience.
Got it.
So now we're reaching out to people who are probably between, in their late 20s, early 30s, who might be able to afford a house that's mid-level. So we have a lot of creative ways of finding the right buyer for you.
Or teachers, firefighters, nurses, any of those service type job titles, we can search those and send them messaging as well. And the Homes for Hero type program, we offer free home warranty as a thank you, but check out my listing. It's it's near here, etc. So there's a lot of flexibility in campaigns that we can offer. It's just a matter of, us talking to you and kind of giving you helping coach them on our experience and how to best target these audiences.
Do you guys still suggest doing those, that approach that you had where you were targeting heroes like police officers, nurses, teachers?
Yeah, absolutely. Local Heroes program is great.
Can you explain what that is so that people can understand how to use this?
Yeah, so Local Heroes program is one of our, again, so we've done this for years now, right? So what we've done a lot of A/B testing and research on what are the best scripts, and really what it comes down to is you want to be able to create this rapport, right? People like to do business with people that you know, like, and trust. So if you can kind of bridge the gap of trust by saying, hey, first name, I see you're in healthcare. You know, I have lots of friends and family that work in healthcare, and I really respect what you do for how you help our community. In fact, so much so that I would love to offer you our Local Heroes program, where I can give you up to $2,000 back to close of escrow or some sort of credit. I get free staging. One of our clients is actually offering a free cruise upon closing. So, you can offer whatever you want, but the main kind of initiative here is to create this rapport. And so, I see you're a firefighter. I see you're in law enforcement. I see you're in the military. I have lots of friends and family in those industries, and I wanted to honor what you do by giving you this, right?
I mean, how many agents out there have got a husband or wife who's a firefighter, or a husband or wife who's a nurse, or husband or wife? You can say, hey, you can really personalize it and say, hey, my husband or wife is doing this, So I love to work with, that type of client.
Yeah.
I love that.
In fact, one of our newest and most effective campaigns, which we're considering making like another product around, but is focusing on so for realtors or loan officers, whatever, who are graduates from a university, right? And then you can find fellow graduates from that same university. So imagine like how well you can build that rapport. Gosh, people from USC, UCLA, Berkeley. Those are such old institutions that people have so much pride in. So people want to. We have killer scripts right now for people who are USC graduates who live in LA, or even USC graduates who live in San Francisco, because there's so many of them. You find those USC graduates and say, hey, I see you're a fellow Trojan. Would love to connect with you. And then you say, I want to offer you my Go or Fight On program, where I give you up to $2,000 back at close of escrow. That ability to create that rapport is exponential.
And target. And you'd be surprised. You can look at like people who went to Boston University that live and work in LA, and you'd be shocked on how many people went to BU and work in LA. So it's not just local colleges and local areas. You can get really, creative with that.
Awesome, guys. Well, any words that you want to say in closing besides everyone going to your website, which is
ListingBoom.co.
ListingBoom.co. So that's .co, not .com.
.co.
And, any closing words, guys?
Yeah, one other thing too is so we are also in the process of creating a one-page insert for your listing presentation. We should have mentioned that earlier. So a bonus of signing up for ListingBoom is that we'll give you a one-page insert, which you can put into your listing presentation that helps you explain the value of this product to all your potential listings.
Ooh, I like that. So it's added benefits, like a marketing piece.
Exactly.
Correct. And we also want to offer, obviously, a special discount for all LCA members. So if you schedule a demo or sign up, you can use the coupon code 50OFF at checkout, and we can give you
50 off, the number 50, 50 off.
So it's 50 and then capital O, capital F, all one word.
50. All right. Can you do me a favor and add that to the bottom of when you're done to the post that's at the top?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome, guys.
50 off. Oh, and so that gives you 50% off your first month, and it waives our $300 onboarding fee. So that's waived. So you can just check us out, see if you like it. If not, cancel. But if you do, great.
Yeah. So in closing with ListingBoom, we're going to send listings to a targeted audience. For the first month, it's going to be what, $135. Mm-hmm. So you can test this out. $135. We're going to target audiences, send your listing to those audiences. And at the end of the month, we're going to send you all your contacts that we got. And we're going to coach you how to respond to all the messages and get business from that. We're going to give you a little one-page insert on how to present it at a listing presentation. And lastly, increase your influence on LinkedIn. So,
well, you guys have definitely helped my influence grow on LinkedIn. Because I'm pretty terrible at LinkedIn. So thank you for your help, guys.
We're proud of that. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. And if you have any referrals for Santa Barbara and Ventura County, you can also send them their way. Thanks, guys.
All right, Tristan.
All right,
Thank you,
see you,
man. Bye.